I'm sorry for my English. If you don't have anything to drink, please get something. The bar is still open. I want to start with fornication. I'm sorry, for an occasion like this. Don't worry, Chad. This will be short. You know, they say the best man's speech shouldn't last longer than the wedding night, so I figure we have about 7 more seconds. Chad wrote this, and I want to thank everybody for coming. As my dad said, I want to especially thank Gabriella's grandmother. Today has been just a wonderful and beautiful day. And I want to really thank the people that helped make this a great day. So please, everybody, the bartenders, cheers. Gabriella, you look just absolutely beautiful. You look stunning. And then there's Chad. And when you see the two of them together, it really does bear truth to the statement, opposites attract. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Chris. I'm Chad's oldest and only brother. I'm honored to be his best man. It's just, I'm just excited to bear witness to this event, this wedding. And truly, Chad is an amazing person. He's an amazing brother, and I love him very deeply. As a matter of fact, when I was thinking about my life and my life with Chad, I thought back to my very first memory, and actually my very first memory is a memory of Chad. When we're about 3.5 years apart, and when right towards the end of my mother's pregnancy with Chad, my parents decided to take me to Disney World. I guess it was the one last fun time I would have. And we took the train from Virginia down to Florida. And what I remember about that was in the train car, there were 2 bunks, a top bunk and a bottom bunk. And I was afraid to sleep on the top bunk because it was so high. My dad slept on the top bunk, but I also didn't want to sleep on the bottom bunk with my mom because she was so late in pregnancy and had such a big belly, and she was pregnant with Chad, and I ended up sleeping on the bottom bunk. But I thought that was kind of special. My very first memory was sleeping next to Chad, about to fall off the bottom bunk. And really, growing up, I think we were as close as 2 brothers who are not twins could possibly be. I mean, we did everything together, especially in the summer, whether it be basketball in the driveway or soccer in the side lawn, water guns, laser tag inside the house, sorry Mom and Dad, and video games, just hours and hours and days and probably months of video games. But as I mentioned, we're about 3.5 years apart, and we were separated 4 years in school, and so when we hit high school and we hit college, we had different friends, we had different social scenes, and so we were apart, but I don't really think we grew apart because we still had kind of an innate closeness. I still consider Chad my best friend, which is a great deal for Chad to have me as his best friend. I think it says more about my lack of social networking skills that he's my best friend. But to talk positively about Chad, I think there are 2 things that I can tell you about Chad, if you don't know him, that really encaptures everything that he is. The first is, since we've grown up, since adolescence, I don't think he's ever said a negative or a mean thing about me, to me, behind me, that I've figured out. I think that's pretty remarkable. And the other thing is, I don't think he has ever ended a phone conversation without saying, I love you. And even last night, the rehearsal, we're supposed to be at the church at 5:30. It's 5:30, there's no Chad. It's 5:35, there's no Chad. 5:40, 5:45, no Chad, no Chad. So I call Chad and I say, where are you? And he's obviously very stressed. He says he'll get there as soon as he can. And so I tell him the only thing that a big brother could tell him in that moment, which of course is take your time, even though the pastor is about to leave. And I'm about to hang up the phone and I hear on the other end, I love you, bro. And he, even in the moment, the thick of things, that's Chad, that's what he thinks about. So I want to tell you just a little bit more about my little brother. For starters, he was supposed to be a girl. So this explains my parents' disappointment for all those years. Chad played the saxophone as a freshman in high school, but he gave that up because the saxophone is hard, and so he picked the tuba. I still think the reason that he picked the tuba was because he's smart. He knows that the tuba is so big that if he can't take it home, he can't possibly be expected to practice. He was a great goalkeeper in soccer. He is, and there's a couple people that can lay witness to this, a horrible gambler, especially when he's drinking. Though he has great taste, obviously, in his bride and Gaby, his taste buds overall are a little questionable. For example, tell me another person that matches these types of taste buds. He doesn't like shrimp, he won't eat scallops, he won't eat salmon, he won't eat any fish or any seafood, he won't eat mushrooms or broccoli, or really, I can't think of any vegetable that he'll actually eat. He doesn't eat turkey, not even at Thanksgiving. As a matter of fact, there are only 5 things. I narrowed it down. I wrote all of this out. There are 5 things that Chad will eat. Eggo waffles, plain bagels with plain cream cheese, bacon, tacos, and pizza, and that's it. And then as my dad already talked about, my brother is a locomotive engineer and has great responsibility, and I'm so very proud of him for that. But that's not the only thing that I'm proud of him for. Chad has really been, I'm really proud of how you blazed your own trail. You know, you've grown up, you've left the nest, you bought your own house, you moved out of mom and dad's house, you're like 5 blocks from their house, 6. Even though you drive locomotives, you own a new house, you have a beautiful wife, I'm still your big brother, and I think there are still some things that I can offer you as far as marriage advice. So, hear me out a little bit. 1, you don't get to buy model trains and put them under the bed anymore and stash them away. You just don't get to do that. Those days are over. You have to spend your money on more practical things like everything that mom has bought you over the past 10 years, socks, underwear, that's what you're gonna have to invest in. And they say happy wife, happy life, and this is serious. It's really important that you and Gaby try to find a date night. Set a date night 1 night of the week, and don't let anything distract you from keeping that date night, because she's the most important thing. Growing up, my dad always used to joke that the boys in the house had a magic laundry hamper. We would put our laundry in the hamper and it would reappear in our drawers, folded and organized perfectly. And I checked out the specs of your new bedroom, and you don't have a magic laundry hamper. So you're going to have to find a way to do laundry. And speaking of the bedroom, Gaby, actually, this is benign. He snores more than anybody in this room I would put money on, so you're going to have to figure out a way to deal with that. And then lastly, the term punt is not just for football. In husband terms, punting means when you're in an argument and you know you're right and your spouse is wrong, you give in so that you can go to bed happy. That's what's going to preserve the marriage. So don't forget to punt. Don't be too proud to punt. I'm going to end here. I know everybody's hungry. and I have to go to the bathroom. So I want to end by just saying that my brother has been through a couple of rough stretches in the past 10 years. I mean, he's been happy overall, but you can tell by the way he acts, by the look on his face, that he hasn't been as happy. Things haven't been all together. There's been something missing. And you really hit the jackpot with Gaby. And I'll never forget when you walked through the door with Chad the first time, Gaby. I mean, his smile was ear to ear. Nobody has ever made my brother smile, and he'll never be more lucky than he is right now. So, Gaby, you're getting the best man I know. You're getting the most loving man I know. You're getting the most family-oriented man that I know. He's going to be loyal to you. He's going to be a great husband, and he's going to be an even better father. So please, everybody, grab your glass. Please raise a glass. I just want to toast my brother, my new sister, to love, to family, and to forever. Salute.
A big round of applause for our best man. I would like to